researching it for 6 months or so.
Okay.
And then finally made a decision that, you know, you guys you were what you said you were.
Right.
So went ahead and made the investment and came on down.
When I ask on this thing, one of the last questions in here is, what's the value compared to the investment? I don't have my reading glasses on.
I put a measurable.
You
on
can't
there.
measure it?
Yeah, it's more than, I think I'll more than get my money's back for what I invested to come here. But it's really, the sky's the limit on it. You know, a smaller contractor like me in comparison to maybe Steve and his dad, they have a bigger operation.
Right.
But so the entry level is different. You don't have to be the bigger guy to fight the 800-pound gorilla.
Right.
You know, I can go in and take the little nits and bits and pieces and the jobs that fit my operation, as well as I grow, I can become a bigger contractor if I wanted to, or keep
Right.
it down, scaled down.
Okay.
Which that interests me, because I don't necessarily always, I might not want to have 20 or 25 employees.
Right.
You know, and it's nice to know that we can make a good, strong living too, and not have to make this big conglomerate.
Yeah, I don't know if you know the Rob McTavish that came from Denver. You might have seen him in the video, but he works about 20 hours a week on the camera. He says, well, "What do you do the rest of the time?" I said, "I work on my golf game." And he's making, you know, 4 or 5 times more money than he ever made in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it 20 hours a week.
And that's a great goal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody specifically like you, maybe from North Carolina or on the East Coast, they were wondering whether or not it even makes sense to make the investment, take the time, come here, spend 3 days with Doug and Sean, what would you tell them?
I would highly recommend it because, you know, in our area we have a lot of military installations around us. So there's a lot of guys that I know that are supposedly in government work, but they don't approach it from the angle that you do.
Right.
You know, so you hear all these horror stories and they don't make as much money as they should and they're always getting beat up. But now I can see how they would understand your approach to it and how it's a completely different world than really even looking at it from that point of view. So it puts a lot of optimism into doing the work.
Yeah.
The government.
You have no competition now in that market compared to those guys.
That's right.
Because they've got all this trash that is built up from that getting beat up and everything, and you know now that if you've got any questions or any problems, what can you do?
Call you up.
Pick up the phone. We'll solve it on the spot, right?
Well, you better be ready because it's coming.
I mean, you saw it right here live in the workshop when Aaron called, right? And he had a problem. We solved it right there. That night I sat down, wrote it. You can have a copy of what we sent him.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to call and talk to you, your name, where you're from, your phone number?
Barry Cobbage from Wilmington, North Carolina, 910-367-9782. Be glad to talk to you.
All right. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hang around. The best is yet to come.